Greetings, thank you for joining us on this broadcast. Welcome to Land of the Insane. All right, this is about timelines, spirit, reptilian spirit guide manipulation, grid, Anunnaki serpent channeling. So serpent channeling, I'm not really sure that came from, but we'll go. Well, actually, I have an idea of that one. So for timelines, during the webinar yesterday, we're talking about right at the end about, for example, so like Christ, like is on the what was he on the cross. So if you have a mythology being created, such as we'll just use that for example, and you create that mythology, put it in a book, try to push that timeline. Not everybody, but a lot of people push their energies towards that timeline. So Jesus could have just been just walk around healing people, or just like any other Joe, and he was like, famous like Oprah in some regard, pissed off some people, but overall had a good following. Moved to France, did all whatever in France, and whatever it might be, and that was that. And everybody thinks they're related to him. Who knows? Maybe he has like 200 kids somewhere. That's whatever works, but if you have an agenda here that's trying to control, society, so he died on the cross and all that, and so they're trying to manipulate that vibration. So, and that you can go on with anything like that. Just like history books are telling us history that they want you to believe in. And so you just got to trust your own instincts, basically. And, does history matter overall? I mean, does it? I mean, people are repeating it anyway, right? So, and so this is like, so yeah, it's pretty complicated when you think about it. I mean, what is your reality of the past, present, future? What is your version of history? I know some people want to say, as aliens show up, they'll bring up the history, and that could be true. But until that, what history works for you? Because there's multiple timelines of alien beings, they're multi-dimensional beings. They see all these different timelines happening all the time. So it doesn't mean all alien beings know what the timelines are either. So exactly, nobody has all the knowledge, as much as it might want to think they do. Not always. It's like us. So remember what world you're on. So you're on a world where the super soldiers are chasing a ball for entertainment. That's right. There was a planet, and was Alpha Centauri. They said they're like hearing something like a space sound or something, which I wouldn't be surprised, or probably more to it than that. So the Alpha Centauri beings fly here, and notice like what we're doing. Our super soldiers are just playing football and baseball, and it's like this. That's what you do. Your super soldiers, yeah, that's what we do with them. They'll probably just fly away. It's like, yeah. And even like chasing a ball, is that are we like a canine race? At least those that want to chase a ball, that are really big on chasing a ball, like they throw a ball and they just like go after it. Some random person chases it, is like that part canine side of them. So just putting it out there. It's pretty funny, actually. I guess it depends on what audience you're talking to. So yeah, like our super soldiers are part canine, part reptilian, part feline, and the canine side of them just can't. I guess if they have frisbees instead of, I guess the frisbee is connected more to the flat Earth, because that is flat. So that would explain, because what do the flat Earth people use for their football or whatever they call it? Frisbee ball or frisbee something, basket frisbee. Anyway, all right, leaving that one. Okay. Anyway, so timeline energies are, it's just one way of looking at it. I mean, we're all connected to all these different timelines. Some timelines where Jesus did die on the cross, timelines where he didn't. And they took a lot of Babylon, a mythology where a lot of those beings were doing some crazy things back then. I believe that a lot of them were walking on water and doing who knows what, but that was back in Babylon. And they just moved, they put all that, some of that on Jesus just to hype him up a little bit. So obviously it worked. Also, reptilian spirit guide manipulation grid. So that's really what this is mostly about. Let's see what connect to spirit, see what I can get out of timeline energies, if there's anything to grab from that. But reptilian beings, so you want to fire your guides, or you want to get rid of your guides, or you feel like you're fighting something you're not aware of, most likely it is a rep. There's other beings, there's Palladian, Syrian, they're doing stuff too. But a lot of it is reptilian origin. Originated or Draconians. I always feel Draconian. I feel that other reptilians, it's always Draconian. It's always the number one. So when they energy attack you, they try to get you to go against yourself. They try to get you to destroy yourself, kill yourself, whatever it is. That's their plan. If you piss them off. They're not going to show up, which would be nice, but no, they're going to try to mentally screw you over. And it's very difficult, for people to get. That's why people get into drinking and drugs. Trying to mess with people. They're always messing with somebody. I mean, obviously, right? I mean, you go to, watch somebody throw a ball, and call it sports, or call it manipulated sports. Which are, I mean, there was nothing wrong with sports, but man, the way they manipulate it's just, they throw alcohol in there, and they're throwing all the horrible things you can do to yourself, basically. They like with sports, they get everybody juiced up at like the Super Bowl, and then they have cops everywhere ready to arrest everybody as soon as you leave. So that works out really well. But overall, I mean, this is a reptilian part of the agenda, is to get you to go against yourself. So, like if they fail, like trying to get you to assassinate yourself, or you get energy attacks from your family members. It all depends. But when these guys are messing with you, they leave their energy with you too. Like if you beat their attacks and you're not drunk, you're not crazy, you're not on drugs, they leave their vibration with you, and all of a sudden you just know things. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to know things for a long time, but you can get a sense, like if someone like on TV like dies of cancer, is like somebody that's well known. It's like, you know what? They might have said it was cancer, but it's probably something else. So yeah, there's just they're not going to show themselves physically for many reasons. But you say that with a serpent, Anunnaki serpent, go by what you feel, but it feels like the serpent all depend with Egypt. That's mainly what this is about. The serpent in Egypt, these pharaohs as a serpent. I feel a lot of that energy is Anunnaki manipulation. Even like the serpent is like on their crowns, like manipulating the mind. So yeah, it's all about the mind in the long run. I mean, you can say it's archons involved with it too, but a lot of it is reptilian. There's a foot soldiers, things like that, but it can get really complicated. But as you tap in there, because I've been feeling reptilian energies recently, I feel like they're like hovering over, they're in the sky, like following some people around, or following myself around here and there. Especially when they get pissed off, when they get mad. So they just go for the mind instantly, and they're just breaking free of that is not easy. It's like, what are they? I mean, yeah, they lose control. It's like you're getting close to what they're up to. Not that we're going to get a full, like the news networks are blocked off pretty well. I mean, obviously, see their energy's there, but it's pretty blocked off of what exactly they're doing. There's a reptilian grid around all of these major ones. Obviously, even the letters like ABC, NBC, even BBC is like a code there. There's something else there. it might be easy to remember, but there's something else to that. It has like a vibration to it. Even that can be mind controlling too. So yeah, it just gets real complicated with these guys. It's now when people are saying they're losing, losing. I don't know. It's a mental battle. So every time you win a battle, you get something in return, but it don't last for so long. Like understanding how the realities work. That was the other thing I picked up on. Oh yeah, this was going to go into tonight. The main thing of healing yourself. How to go within. Not an easy one. It's like channeling. What I've been feeling is like there's a lot of human. This is nothing new, probably, but a lot of human, like the Matrix people, are obviously keeping this reality going and don't even know it. They're just is get up, go to work, do the same old thing over and over again until you're like 90. Relationship thing. It's like the program is there and they just do the thing over and over again. Just, if they can withstand it. They're like almost, like sheep in some regard. I mean, they're functional, but they're still part. I mean, they still have a soul. They still have feelings and all that. It's so important. They're still valuable, but the program is pretty obvious. So yeah, it's also connected to the human trafficking energy to keep things going. Because the human trafficking vibration, they incarnate here, they get a hold of the soul, and they reincarnate them here, things like that. So it's just a machine here, obviously. And I'm not saying anything new to some, but when you get an energy attack, there's different types of them. Family member, it's different, but when the alien attacks you, usually it's a reptilian normally. It depends. You can feel that residue a little about, maybe not. Sometimes I get like an instant message, and sometimes I get like very subtle vibrations. But they can't show you everything, but they're definitely part of the grid of our reality. Like game shows, or to keep the mind busy. They have different programs for different people. They keep the system going. So some people are in sports, so they keep that vibration. Here's what comes with sports: booze and commercials and muscle enhancers, whatever it is. So it comes with game shows. Also gets like your average person, make them feel smart in this reality. So they have a program there. There's different programs all over the place. So even while I'm trying to talk. So what does all of that mean? Well, yeah. Well, breaking free is another story. But yeah, it goes back to, like I said, the Egyptian, like the serpent. Serpent it's more like it's with the serpent around the mind. It's all about the mind. And then people say it's archons, and that's part of it, but the reptile is still running the show. The archon's like the architecture, but the reptilians in your mind putting the thoughts in there and moving everything around. It's like artwork. So it's just complicated to break free about. I mean, how do you break free of this reality? Yeah, get attacked a lot. That'll open up your third eye, that's for sure. It's like the dark fleet is what energy I get from them. They are connected, or let's see, they are connected to Anunnaki, of course. They get knowledge from the Anunnaki of how to program humans. Anunnaki are just doing their own thing. They're not always programming humans. Reptilians are always doing it. They want to keep this show going on as long as they can. Obviously, they have a lot of people in the Matrix world that most of them are not programmed to unlock at all. They're just not. They're keeping this reality going, kind of like a battery. It's kind of like that, but they still have a soul. A soul of matter, they still have personality. It's not like they're nobody. No, they are somebody. It's just their function is keeping this reality going. And you probably heard. I mean, it's probably heard this already before, but I mean, their true functionality is to keep this going, and it's various different reasons why they incarnated to experience that. So So we're gonna see what I can get, what I can bring in to go further into some of that. Some of this is probably already known, but sometimes hearing it again, you don't hear it very often. Obviously, because they remove thoughts, they try to mess with us all the time. So it just gets better and better. So, oh yeah, this whole thing about a lot of people believe. Well, first off, about the reincarnation, that they're going to be stuck here. Well, a lot of your Matrix people are going to come back here or go somewhere else where they're controlling another reality. So there's that. And their version of spirit, wherever that is. So, that was the other thing about some of the channelers out there that are, kind of controlling in their thoughts, also telling you, like, this is the way it is and it's no other way. That's another form of mind control, as these beings are trying to cover things up. So, it's like, no, it's this way, not that way. It's just as we say it. And so people that are learning about this, okay, I'll just go by what you say. So it's another form of covering things up. They have a lot of people doing that right now. Channeling beings that are just keeping things locked up for us to unlock. So I don't know how this locking works exactly. Obviously, they're not going to show that, but it's so dense, obviously. But it's like we're looking for the key to unlock everything. It's not that easy, obviously. I'm going to get your mind to go completely crazy. RiseHighMsHard.com. We have private sessions. Maybe. I'm still behind here. Well, I got a little bit. I'm on the 31st. Same situation here. Sort of. I'm up with everybody. Webinar, social network. They won't get banned from Rabbit and behind the scenes. Okay. So, all right. Do a little bit of a kind of experiment here. I'm just going to leave it open. I'll just leave it. I'm going to go into, you can say, like the reptilian grid, or like my experience with it in my past life. So this is like I'm going to do more of these in the future, maybe one tomorrow. We'll see how things go. This is like new territory. I was going to do a couple of these earlier today. I didn't have energy to do that. So this is like going within, basically. Not the easiest thing to put out there, but it's like we're all connected to something here, right? Part of this, it's this layer after layer of, like, why are we, like, it's not very clear why we're here. So we're not always, anyway, we're just diving into it. Screw it. Okay. All right. We'll just see how this goes. All right. Blessings. Greetings to you. This is higher consciousness of your planet's vibration. Is basically unlocking your energy of who you are. So obviously we can't go through everybody here, but some of you are here, yes, to unlock third dimensional idea systems. And an actual idea that's like a prison word, not the word prison, but just prison thoughts. Yes, it gets kind of complicated. A lot of your reptilians created your vocabulary, and also your Bible. Anunnaki is similar to your Archon vibrations, where they just create the grid. They create this architecture, but then they leave it alone. But if you come here with an agenda, it's like, oh, I'm going to move things around. It's like, instead of having all these doors open with the mind, I'm going to shut it all off. I'm going to put the information in their minds, what I want them to believe, such as the Bible, even Quran's connected to that vibration, and so on. Especially when you add fear to it. So if you create a Bible, for example, we're just using for example, and you add fear to it, it shuts the mind down. So many of you are opening up to fairies and higher dimensional beings, and you're connected to alien beings. But you're finding a way to relax. So you're going into your origins. It's not an easy trip to get there because all these beings want to keep you in this mental block. But as you free yourself, it is reptilian connect. There's more to it than just that. But also reptilian beings cannot keep you there forever. Well, it's like, you can say it's like a maze, as has been mentioned here before. It's you kind of, they test you, they even go past where they're supposed to test you. Some of them cross the line. When they cross the line with you, like, they add more challenges than they should have because they just want you to lose, and you survive it. It's like being in a room and they fill it up with water and you don't die. You find some way to get air. It's kind of like that. They're doing that with the mind. They're filling it up with all kinds of anything. Or they try to get you to go a different direction. And yes, they do use different type of channeling grids. I mean, it's for different channelers. Not all channelers are aware they're even doing it. They have no idea. A lot of them are just innocent. They're just trying to figure this all out. So there's innocence there, not to put damper on all. But some are doing it intentionally to shut things. They're literally here to shut things down. But their souls are also falling apart as they do it. So they're trying to make up for it, but there's still darkness there. So this is, yes, you're here to unlock the mind on so many different levels, such as your place here, your ancient self. Many are connected to Atlantis. Some of you are going further. Some of you saw this earth in a different form in your past. It's to remember those things. And that's to get away from the fear that you're going to get this wrong. Also, people feel, oh, it's a manipulation, I'm wrong about that. But if you're not sure about it, you can still leave it as a possibility instead of just deleting it from your memory altogether. You might not be able to understand what you're pulling in, but it does not mean it's wrong. So it's just that you're coming from all these different belief systems. It's a sea of belief systems, and it's suffocating. Yes, you have all of this from people that are awakened. They have a certain way they want to think, and that's it. That's the highway, nothing else. And many of you want to break that open and keep, because many of you are connected to fractal energies of these angels. Many of you have been Archangel Michael, Archangel Ariel in past lives. You've been actually that entity here in the physical, been versions of him. In this reality and other realities, and of course you're connected to that vibration, it's very confusing. And these beings, usually it's a reptile, that are trying, it's just they want to show how powerful they are. Why they're doing this? Obviously, they created the cage in the mind. You're always looking for bars, like a prison bars, or like some kind of a cage. But you already know that the bars are in society. But to go deeper is to truly see where you truly come from, whatever it might be. I mean, all come from energy forms. But mostly your souls are just vibration. Some of you have actually been planets in your other incarnations. Some of you have been destroyed by these beings. Some of you have actually been a planet vibration. And these beings come and ruin that earth, that planet. And so you come here to awaken humanity of these beings that are causing difficulties. These are some of the most advanced alien beings this universe has ever seen. And yes, you're talking about beings that are not human, they're humanoid, but they're not really human thinking either. So, and many of you have found their weaknesses. So that's why they attack you too. They don't play fairly either. It's similar, yes, to a Nazi regime where they're just shooting everybody, but these guys do it with energy. They just shoot you with energy pulse, like a mental pulse. They just get mad at you and just sting you mentally. They want to take down. They don't want you to have any hope for yourself. They want to break all that down where they're in charge. A lot of these reptilian beings, they want to be your owner. They want to own your talent. They want to be you. They want, when people come to you, oh, this is you and all of this, but it's actually them possessing you. I know it's a little bit strange, but it's true. They want to possess talented people to keep you in the grid. Oh, this person has a lot of talent, got everybody's attention. And so they can keep this story going on. But when you're defining them, not going by their rules and breaking their codes, because they put code ideas into your mind, and you start talking about them like this, obviously it doesn't go too well with them. Obviously, who's going to believe you? Because you don't see them here physically. But some of you have to connect to their vibrations. They're not, especially when you're trying to go to a higher vibration. The last thing you want to connect to is like this draconian that wants to rule the world. It's like, I don't want to be connected to that. Push that thing away. But that's how it works. So it's like, oh yeah, the draconians, but no big deal. But it is a big deal because they are trying to control minds on so many different levels. Especially your society, yes, is very easily manipulated, as you can see. It's like humanity is like a current. It's like you put one thought and they all rush into a certain direction. They're all searching for this controversy that just happened on one. Oh, and that's the talking point of the day. It's like an ocean current. They're just moving it around. And people, it's the sea of humanity just following the trends because it gets them attention. It gets them views, gets them clicks, gets them all of this. So they know how so as you become more aware of all of this, yes, you know how they put the pieces together. As for your, religions of mythology, yes, a lot of that's been implanted, of course. Well, they have to make it like Noah, the Bible. They have to make it exciting to get you drawn in. So if they have this major cataclysm event, well, now the cataclysms did happen, yes, but they did not put all the animals on one ship. Well, in some realities, yes, but in general, no. Yeah, you can look at it as allegory, but they have to make something like the Bible very attractive for people, a mystery, but also exhilarating at the same time. So you get hooked into it. So they knew exactly what to put out. Just, wow, people will be amazed by this. Oh, he walks on water. Another amazement. So they can hook you in, and they have you. As you break that, dissolve it, see more of the true earth, it's still exciting, but it's not like what they're saying. So you're seeing now these beings, will they make their appearance? Unlikely, because they want to continue this show. But some of you are like archaeologists. It's kind of like that. It's like you're here to, it's like an archaeologist. You go to a temple that has booby traps everywhere, but you know what you're looking for, sort of. Sometimes you don't, sometimes you don't. You know something is there. This is kind of the same thing, going into your matrix and finding that relic and unlocking it for everyone to see. Say, look, I found it. This is a little bit different, but I believe you're going into your matrix reality, unlocking your matrix, so you can see more. You can see the alien beings. You can turn that switch, so you no longer have to have this amnesia anymore. That's what this is all about. You're going into a spiritual level. Some of them are going to an intellectual level. That's fine. There's only so far you can go with that. Going to a spiritual level as a whole, and not many really are connected to the spiritual level. It's a little bit much for that. I mean, that's what channeling is there. If you're ready for knowledge from a spiritual level, the channeling knowledge can link with you very easily. But if you're playing games, it's like, I'm not sure about this, and I don't know. It's hard to get a channel to link information to you if you're hopping all over the place. But if you're like, you're ready for knowledge, and just what is out there for me? I'll leave my mind open. Then it's easier to connect with you on a channel for a spirit to connect with you. But if you're, like I said, if you're wanting knowledge from the spirit realms and your mind is not sure and you're just dancing all over the place, they can give you information, but you can easily burn it out, shut it out, turn it off, kick it back out, etc. So as you go into a spiritual awareness, it gets complicated because these beings are spiritual themselves and they know how everything works. Well, to a extent. It can backfire towards them too. Well, you defy all of their rules. You go against them. You don't do it. You're not afraid of them. That's the thing they despise. So those that are connected to higher vibrations usually ignore these beings. We want to make so you know this. If you ignore them, how are you going to heal it? So some of you just walk right into the belly of the beast. You have no choice. No, some aren't doing it. They're at the high vibrations. They're over here, and that's fine. Because that's where some of you get your energy from. It's like, I just got my ass kicked by these guys. I need some energy from some of you that are flying around in the higher dimensions. We need all the help we can get, because I'm about to go back and see these people again. So the Draconian beings, yes, they feel like they've mastered this universe. Now, yes, there's many other beings. A lot of the alien beings, like, sure, let's see what you got. Meaning that there's always other alien beings behind them. Like there's always an elite behind them. And they're giving them assistance as the Dracos are moving things around, making things really complicated. So it's like, gangsters, basically. Well, there's other mobsters living in their penthouse somewhere. It's not exactly like that, but it's one way of looking at it. But you have your thugs on the street that know the street. They know how the mind works. They know how everybody is. And that's what you're dealing with at this time. It's just not an easy energy to deal with. Many that are at a higher vibration cannot handle these guys. You go to the high vibrations, but you are sending your vibrations to the planet. Those that are going into the belly of the beast. The belly of the beast is, yes, entities, reptilian beings that are complete mind controlled, meaning that they know how the mind works, and they're going to. It's like, yes, you're getting closer to the villain, like the end of the game, but it's a dragon dancing all over the place. It's kind of like that, a little bit more complicated. It's more of like a mind game than it is. It's not chess. It's worse. It's something that you cannot look up and understand because it defies all logic. So, if this is going to help anybody, that's up to you. It might make things more complicated, but I believe it gives some. A lot of these reptilian beings are black. Not to be racist, but a lot of them are black. I mean, they're greenish reptilian, but they're dark. Their energies are just dark. Their eyes are red also. It's just the vibration they're putting out. If you're a higher vibration, it'll be pink. But you're putting out dark energies all the time. When you're around archon beings all the time, you get dirty. So, but they want to see like they are artistically more advanced. Yeah, for the mind, they just want to show how talented they are, and they are. Some of them just have mastered the mind on so many different levels. You can connect to them. There's different levels. Like, oh look, I feel a reptilian vibration. I understand them. There's a mindset with them that's very hard to get to, but once again, seeing them is a possibility. You can't see them because they're so connected to human. That's the other thing. you are very connected to their vibration. Tapping into them is not always the easiest. You can tap into it, but it can get you can't get close to them if you know what you're doing. But once again, be careful of the mind. You gotta protect your mind because they can really hit you with depression and suicidal thoughts, things like that. They can really hit you hard when they get angry. So that's humans aren't really mentally prepared for this. I mean, not on a global scale. I mean, you are oiled by people are taking Zoloft and things like that. That's not solving it. It's prolonging it. Because science here is not willing to face who's really here. It's just basically you have master geneticists, but also master minds that have mastered the mind, basically. There's probably a better wording for that, but and once again, the timelines of your past is up to you. If you just clean slate, kick out your history books, because that's all programming. This reality will most likely slowly start to break down. Not easily, but if you feel more free and less confined, that shows you're connecting to something. You're connecting more to yourself. So, blessings.